Okay, so let's start just to be fair with the people that has joined this webinar on time. So I guess that more people will join during the next minutes. So I think it's better if we start. So I guess that all of you hear me, and you should now see the first slide of the presentation. Okay. Right. So thank you very much, and welcome to this Openbravo webinar. My name is Exilio Places, and I am Product Marketing Director at Openbravo. During the next 60 minutes, I'll talk to you mainly about retail, of course, but also on how Openbravo helps agile retailers to succeed in today's new reality, thanks to the Openbravo commerce platform. To do this, and after a very short introduction about Openbravo, I promise I'll share with you our vision about retail today and how this has been confirmed by a recent study we released some weeks ago. And of course, since I think this is one of the most interesting topics in this webinar, we will also see your solution in action through a live demo. Before starting, I would like to remember you that you can share and follow live tweets during the webinar in Twitter with the hashtag OVComWeb. And this presentation is being recorded, so you will receive an email with a link in the next day, so you will have time to review it in your office with more time if necessary. Okay, so let's start. So as I said before, probably most of you, hopefully all of you already know about Openbravo. Openbravo is a Spanish company which was founded in 2001. And is today one of the open source enterprise, one of the leaders in the open source enterprise software space. We are present on all continents through a highly qualified channel partners network, servicing our clients, and we have nowadays offices in India, Mexico, and Spain. Since 2006, when we released the code, we have more than 3 million support solutions, which makes us the most downloaded ERP in the open source space. Today, over 1,000 organizations are already using our solutions, and we are proud to count with customers that are market leaders using these solutions in different industries and with different sizes. This is just an example of some of these customers in the different regions, but obviously there are more. As I said before, serviced by our partners. Our technological excellence has been also recognized internationally, and we are today the only open source ERP winning the BOSI Award 6 years, plus a number of additional awards that really recognize the effort and the innovation that we are providing to the market with our solutions. Specifically in retail, as you know, it's very important with a number of technologies flourishing. It's not only important that you provide a solution with a strong technology, with a strong platform, but it's also very important that you work with the best technologies. And in this case, Openbravo enjoys a strong position as a retail solution provider, thanks to a powerful combination of core retail functionality and integrations with leading complementary solutions, as well as with the right technology partners. In this case, we can talk, for example, that we work with a growing list of retail solutions like AppCard, Element PS, Authorize.net, Avalara, Magento, Toshiba Global Solutions, and other technology specialists as well, Sugar CRM, Amazon Web Services, Oracle, Postgres, Zoho, Pentaho, Psycho, or Canonical, amongst others. So in this reality, and I will talk a little bit more in the next slides, what is our claim? So Openbravo, from Openbravo, we offer preferred commerce and ERP platform for businesses where technological disruption is rapidly changing today's paradigm. And how this converts in terms of value proposition. We provide today two main solutions. First, the Openbravo commerce platform, the preferred commerce solution for agile retailers, offering an unmatchable combination of a state-of-the-art commerce solution developed on top of a flexible and easily extendable development platform, mobile, web, and cloud-ready, with broad functionality ERP embedded, including merchandise management, supply chain management, multi-channel, and enterprise management. For any other industry, Openbravo provides the Openbravo ERP platform, built on top of the same technology and providing a comprehensive out-of-the-box functionality in key areas like sales, procurement, projects, manufacturing, and MRP, warehouse, or financials. Obviously, today's topic is the Openbravo Commerce Platform, but I think it was a very short introduction, as I promised, to let you know a little bit more about Openbravo. Okay, so let's jump into the main topic of today's webinar, and let's start talking about retail. So obviously, and this will give me the opportunity to introduce later some key messages about our solution and some key conclusions of the recent study we released. I think that with no doubt, the main change the retail industry is facing today is the rise of the new consumer. Empowered consumers armed with multiple devices are clearly disrupting retail and controlling brands. Buying behavior has dramatically changed, and today the store is no more the final stage in their buying journey. As we will see later, this becomes a key conclusion for a study and something that we think that really shapes the way that retailers are today investing. So consumers are searching online, asking for opinions in social media, go to the store to experience the product, and very often return to online for the final purchase. They demand better service and more personalized communications and offerings and expect a seamless shopping experience across all channels. Obviously, as a result of that, retailers must reinvent themselves to systematically understand and serve increasingly powerful consumers and must invest in consumer engagement. Sorry. In this age of the consumer, the only sustainable competitive advantage is knowledge of and engagement with consumers. So what is happening then? So what is happening is that the cross-channel phenomenon is here and will stay, with e-commerce and m-commerce growing very fast. Mobile technologies are a key enabler for better operations and are taking ground rapidly. And very important, even with the threat of online channels, the physical store remains the most important touch point, as the recent release study has revealed. And this is something that we will comment now in more detail. So basically, our study, the objective of the study was to identify the main IT system priorities for retailers today and in the coming years. However, the first conclusion and the starting point deserve special attention. So it's something that I've already mentioned several times, but we consider that it's really important and something that really is affecting the way that retailers think on their systems, the way that retailers, especially IT departments, think on how they must invest. And this is the confirmation of a key reality, which is the importance of the physical stores despite of the so much stock and the rapid growth of the online retail. This study, and not only this, so if you have the opportunity to read another analysis for other companies, for well-known companies, firms in the industry, analysis companies, all these confirm that the retail physical stores will continue to be the main driver of sales in the coming years. And this has an enormous influence over the retailers' IT decisions. And then we expect retailers really invest clearly on new store systems that really help them to overcome the new challenges. And this is more true in emerging markets, where due to different reasons, the online retail will continue being low in comparison with the offline retail. The second main conclusion is clearly a positive trend in regards to the IT investment. Retailers in leading markets especially plan to increase their IT budgets, both at the corporate and the stores level, and we expect this trend to be observed in many other markets as well. If this trend is confirmed, this shall be obviously a very positive signal of economic recovery after several years of economic slowdown that really have avoided that retailers invest in technology. Somehow, we are moving from a cost-saving strategies, and we are moving now again to growth strategies. And obviously here technology plays a key role. If we go into a bit more detail about some of the figures of this study, and especially if we take a look to the stores IT investment, Here clearly mobility, cloud, and cross-channel are clearly being identified as the three top IT priorities from a global perspective. And cross-channel in particular demands new systems that provide a seamless shopping experience and actionable insight across all channels. In fact, the lack of proper analytics is considered by 71% of retailers as one of the main reasons of a low cross-channel adoption. So, under this new reality, what is happening? What are retailers doing? So, the reality is that retailers are really struggling because they have a lot of them have legacy systems, and they need to decide on how to invest on which is the proper strategy to really overcome these challenges, to prepare the physical stores for the new role, to effectively adopt mobile technologies, progress in cross-channel. Very, very important, leverage prior systems, prior investments, and obviously in a so competitive industry landscape, how to develop differentiation strategies. And it is here precisely where Openbravo, with the Openbravo Commerce Platform, provides retailers the opportunity to really succeed. And we talk about three main pillars. And I'll give you the opportunity to understand these three pillars through the rest of the presentation when we see the solution. First of all, the adoption of the Openbravo Commerce Platform allows retailers to help physical stores to develop the new role in today's cross-channel reality and provide a delightful customer experience in the physical stores. Second, it helps to progress in cross-channel and to provide a seamless shopping experience across retail channels. And third, and very important, I think, is to engage more, but not only with customers, which is usually the usual comment, to engage more with employees and with partners. Okay, so we have just make a short presentation about Openbravo, about our vision and some conclusions of the recent study. So I think it's time to move to the solution and to use the as much as possible time of the webinar to really show you our value proposition directly in the system. But before going to the demo, I would like to comment about two key elements that deserve special initial introduction, since we won't be able to demo them in detail, basically due to technical constraints in case of a mobile device. The first is obviously one of the key characteristics, one of the key assets of the Openbravo Commerce Platform is for web and mobile point of sale. Today I use my browser, so you won't see it in action directly as it was in a mobile device. But it's important to remember that ours is a mobile point of sale with responsive design, which means that you can use it from different mobile devices, and the layout automatically resizes thanks to this responsive design. And second is a full web point of sale with offline support, which means that even in case of connectivity loss, the sales operations can continue. Okay, so all examples or functionalities that you will see now from my browser can be executed directly from a mobile device, and this is a quite unique offer compared with other solutions in the market that provide mobile point of sales. But in this case, this functionality, this mobile functionality, is not exactly the same, and usually it's a limited functionality. So what this means for retailers? So basically, this results in the best solution for those companies seeking for an easy to deploy and maintain point of sale solution. By only requiring a browser and using mobile devices, retailers dramatically simplify their IT landscape and gain higher flexibility in front of peak situations, or for example, when opening new stores with an improved time to market. Today, you have heard for sure about the growing trend with pop-up stores. So mobile point of sales obviously help a lot under these scenarios. So another key capability, as I said before, is the offline support. Sales, cash out, cash management operations are supported, even in case of connectivity loss. And the system manages transfer the information and send it to the back office once the connectivity is again available. So this is obviously a key functionality that is always demanded, and which ensures that this interrupted sales operation. And the second element that I would like to comment is the embedded Openbravo analytics. I'll show you a little bit some examples, but obviously we have no time to present you the whole scope of the component. But basically, it's a set of reports, cubes, windows at the end, functionality available, built on top of the Openbravo analytics that dramatically changes the way that Openbravo users interact with the information. So the embedded analytics engine helps retailers to achieve higher business utility with advanced business intelligence that allow, for example, to analyze information better and faster. And since it's a fully embedded solution, it doesn't require additional hardware and provides a better user experience since it's fully integrated with the Openbravo user interface. So since we won't be able to see all retail analytics objects functionality, this list is just an example to let you know about scope, and for sure you will have time later to read in our public documentation to know more about all of this. Okay, so let us start with the demo, and let me introduce you to the team that I use to present this. So I'll try to follow, let's say, like a story, and I'll use different roles that represent typical roles within our retail organization. And then we have people on the headquarters, people in the stores, store manager, sales associates, and warehouse associates. Through the activity that I'll simulate, I hope you get the essence and the main concepts behind the Openbravo commerce platform. Okay, so let's start. And now let me share my browser. Okay, you now should see the login page, and we'll start with Martha, or merchandise manager. In this case, Martha is logging as Openbravo, and I'll start the demo from this point. So basically, the first window, the first page that appears after login is the workspace. The workspace is an easily customizable portal-style homepage from which users can directly access all recently visited windows and documents and administer the available widgets, which are these boxes. For example, these 4 boxes that you can see now, which are user interface elements that can be either placed in any user's workspace tab or be part of a generated window. And they can be used to display a wide range of different information, ranging from static content, dynamic database, data in list form, custom HTML content, etc. In this case, you see here 3 retail analytic widgets, and let's start simulating how Martha was working. So in this case, he was checking some information about his products, and because some weeks ago he realized that well, there was a product having a poor performance. In this case, in addition to these widgets, he created another report in Openbravo Analytics. This report is here, and is the digital transceiver sales. This is just a quite easy report. I'll show you later a more complex, but this is just an example. And here, Martha checked that obviously you can see this is the digital transceiver information was clearly underperformant, and something should be done in order to increase sales. Okay. Apart of this, it could be very easy to modify these reports. And then you can see now the whole cube information with dimensions, with measures, and it's quite easy to add or to remove fields, and this information automatically refreshes You can change the way that this information is presented, etc. Okay, so this is just a basic reporting analytics, just to start talking about the functionalities that this powerful component provides. But in case of Marta, in order to gather the best information about the product, she wanted to get more information about the product, this product, the digital transceiver. And then by using the quick launch, he can rapidly access to the product window. And this is a good opportunity to take a look to additional details of the back office user interface. So the back office, it's a full web solution, and it has been specially designed to increase user productivity. For example, with user preferences, users have the flexibility to easily manage their preferences such as role, organization, warehouse, etc., and set them as default values. I've showed already the quick launch. Here you see that we have multiple tabs. So this is multitasking, which helps users to increase their productivity by working simultaneously with multiple transactions and documents in different tabs. And here you see the grid view. So the grid component is a powerful tool that is really fast for users, since it clearly remembers the spreadsheets. So users enjoy advanced grid functionality, for example, to move columns, resize columns, but you can also order them, sort them. You can also add new columns from the database, the object behind, and you can obviously filter. In this case, Marta wants to get information about the digital transceiver, and then he directly types this, and then he can access to the form. The form is the second way of viewing information. And here you can see all the fields that are stored for the product. You can hide some of these fields with this button, form personalization. The user can fully customize the layout of the window. So really, Openbravo breaks the rigidity of traditional systems with a flexible user interface that enable end users to personalize these form layouts without technical assistance. And once you have all the information already arranged, it's also possible to save it as a view, and then it's possible for you to use it later, for example, when you are working the next day, the next week, etc. Okay. So in this case, Marta is trying to get information about the digital transceiver, and you notice that there is a note, and this note, it's an important note. It's from a colleague saying that a provider sent an email informing about new models in September, which makes more urgent to start selling the available units. She can also see that there is a technical specs document attached to the product. So in case of additional information, she can also check. So all these are tools that help to help teams to collaborate, notes, attachments, etc., etc. Okay. So now, with this information, what she needs is to check with the provider, and she goes to the purchasing tab and confirms who is the provider. In this case, is the company called Outdoor Sports, and she can quickly contact the person in charge and confirm that really the new models are coming. So it's really urgent to start selling. So with all this information, clearly this was enough to confirm the need of a new promotion. And in this case, let's navigate to the discounts and promotions window and see how easy it was for Marta to create a new promotion. In this case, she called it Special Offer Digital Transceiver. The Openbravo Commerce Platform, obviously as part of the merchandise management capabilities, provides a powerful promotions and discount engine that allows to easily and rapidly create and launch new promotions. These promotions can include several conditions that help to target customers more efficiently, including, for example, stores, product families, customers, etc. Okay, in this case, it's just a simple promotion. It's named Special Offer Digital Transceiver, Martha simply sets the starting date, the ending date, and here she can combine different parameters in order to clearly specify the promotion. In this case, it's a 20% discount, and he has selected in this tab in clutter products only those defined, and in the products tab, she has added the digital transceiver. Okay. In addition, she has created additional steps. She has created a special document with all the information about the promotion, and she has created also special information that will be available for example, for the store supervisors. So all this information will really help to understand the rest of the organization, how this promotion will be executed, which are the objectives of this promotion. Okay, so in less than 1 minute, Martha was able to create a promotion, and this automatically created an alert for the store supervisor and an email, as we will see later. Okay, right, so now it's all ready to improve sales, and let's move to the next team member, in this case Joe. Joe is the store manager of the Bahía Blanca store. So the first thing that he do when he arrives to the office is check his email. In this case, I'm just showing my email, but just to show you the kind of alert that the store supervisor in this case is receiving. As you can see, it's there is a new promotion and a special offer for digital transceiver 20%. So this is an easy and simple way to inform the corresponding people that there is something new that will affect you in the coming days. Okay, right. And he logs into the system, and he will rapidly realize that this information was really, let's say, serious, obviously. But for example, he sees now a new fact saying, okay, this is a new fact under promotions and discounts. Facts is an easy way and simple and way to inform about concrete questions like procedures, let's say in this case promotion conditions, etc. And here he can directly navigate to the fact, see that he can contact Martha Smith for any question. And in addition, he has received an alert. Alerts are, it's a nice feature which automatically sends communications based on a business event. In this case, obviously, there is a special offer, and Joe can directly navigate to the promotion description, and here obviously can see the same information that was created by Martha. If he has doubts, he could directly send an email by getting the direct access to this record. With this link, if Joe sends an email to Martha, Martha can directly navigate to this record and within the system without need to navigate to search. Okay, so this is another tool to increase user productivity. Okay, right. So this is great because Joe now has information that will help him to really train people, inform people in the store that a new promotion is coming. We will be able to prepare new materials, posters, etc. Okay, but now this is the first. It's the beginning of the day, and obviously Joe, as a store supervisor, needs to open the store. Okay, so he will navigate to open the store window. In the open the store window, basically, Joe selects the store, Bahía Blanca store in this case, and sets the business date. The business date is a date that will be used by the point of sale terminals in order to classify, to create all transactions and movements. In this case, we have today's date, obviously, and the system automatically presents Joe with all the stores all the terminals for this store, showing the terminal status open, since we have opened the store, the business date, and open till saying no. So basically here we have a model which is store. For a store we have a number of terminals, and for each terminal we have a till. The till is finally the cashier, or we'll have that in mind. Okay, so now the store is open, no tills are open, so it's time for the store staff to work. Okay, but the store is ready for a new day. So then let's move to Mike. Mike is another guy from our team, and he is a sales associate. He has just arrived to the store, and we proceed to open the deal in the terminal, one. As you can see now, I'm in the browser. Okay, so as I said before, this is now the Openbravo web US. So all things I will do now could be directly executed from a mobile device, just using an URL, and each terminal has a unique URL. In this case, Mike enters his credentials and tries to log in. So in this case, what the system is doing is trying to check that the stored business date in the terminal is the same or not with the date that comes from the store. In this case, obviously, the store was closed yesterday, the last business date in the terminal was yesterday, and the system simply checks that the new business date will be updated. The business date will be updated with the information coming from the store. We say, okay. And what happens? Since this is the first time that the deal is open, the system automatically requests Mike to make an initial count. So by using denominations, it will be very easy to Mike to enter the initial count, and the system presents the last counted amount. So the system will check that really the information is correct. In this case, let's simulate a difference of 1. So this way, in this way, in this way, and let's try to prove the difference. Oh, it's not possible. Why? Well, there is a difference, and it's not possible, as you can imagine, as you know, that terminal stills have differences, or at least without a proper manager approval. In this case, Joe, or store supervisor or store manager, can approve the action, and it's okay. The till is now open. Okay. So Mike is now ready to service new customers. And from this point, I'll present you 5 easy examples on how the Openbravo web US helps brick-and-mortar retailers, physical stores, to really achieve more optimized store operations. Adding items to the ticket is very easy. So here you can see you have the scan option, you have the browse by categories, you have also the search. I'll try to combine all of them. I have with me Bluetooth barcode reader, so I'll use it with some barcodes I have. So probably you will hear some beeps from the Bluetooth barcode reader. But in general, well, I'll try to combine all these methods for adding items. Okay, so let's start the first one. So the new offer is working really well, and sales are growing for the digital transceiver, and the first customer comes. In this case, the transaction will be a named transaction. So the Openbravo web US allows you to have anonymous and named transactions. And obviously, if you can identify your customers, it will help to increase loyalty and at least to have better information about your customers' behavior. In this case, we can select an existing customer, Stefan Cluster, and it is automatically assigned to the ticket. So it could be possible as well to create new customers from the point of sale. Okay, and in general, it's also possible to define which is the default customer on each terminal based on terminal types. Okay, so this adds additional flexibility. For example, typical cases when we have a terminal for big persons, and then you can create a default customer which is big, and then all the sales there are perfectly identified in the form. Okay, so I've used the barcode reader and I've added the digital transceiver. As you can see, the system has automatically added the special offer digital transceiver, 20% discount, which was created by Marta. And this was automatically distributed to all terminals, in this case to the pipeline store. The line shows obviously the product and the description that was entered by Marta in the discounts and promotions screen. The customer now orders the second item, in this case the carabiner, the shape, and now the customer will wants an additional item. I won't use now the barcode reader, since I want to show you the variance functionality. So in this case, the customer wants to buy a T-shirt. So I'm just browsing categories. I'm in mountaineering, and now I have here thermal T-shirt. As you can see, there is a label here saying generic. And when I press this, the system presents me all the variants. So as you know, variants are just combinations of a generic product in combinations, showing with combinations of different characteristics, typically color, size, brand, etc. And in this case, I just will add the last one. Okay, in this case, however, customer realizes that there is, well, the shirt is a little bit damaged. And then Mike agrees that it could be possible to apply a discount. So in this case, Mike goes to the receive discounts option in the menu. And here, he can select a discount that will be applied to the T-shirt. In this case, 5% discount. He selects the product and applies. Okay, and here we have this discretionary discount applied. Okay, so now let me do something that will help us later to identify the ticket one, special offer. So you can change the description of the item, of the ticket, you can change the description of the lines, etc. And now we can proceed to make the payment, but wow, a new approval is required. Why? Because a discretionary discount has been applied. In this case, you can approve the action. So another way on how the Openbravo WebQS helps to control operations at the point of sale, in general, to increase the quality of the operations, but also to avoid, for example, fraudulent operations. Okay, it's all prepared, and in this case, the customer will pay just 50 with card and the rest with cash. The Openbravo WebQS allows to integrate obviously with payment devices or with payment gateways. So it's just a matter of integrating with this special devices or platforms, and then you can manage directly credit card payments totally integrated with the POS. And the sale is finished. Let's continue with the second example. In this case, another customer is coming, and again, it will be a name transaction. We will use in this case Carl Statson. And the customer is buying another product, which is adhesive body warmers. In this case, let me ask you to take a look to the price. You see that now we have 1 unit and 3.60. For the second unit, we have the same price, and for the third unit, the price has changed to 2. So this is an example of a scale price, another feature that helps to provide retailers flexibility to define prices. In this case, even if we move to 5 units, we see that the final price is 1.80. So basically, behind this, it's a strong price list management functionality that allows to manage multiple price lists that can be created, for example, based on an existing price list. Price can be created with or without tax included, and could be also created based in cost, for example, just adding a margin. You can have multiple price list versions, and at the end, you will need to assign one of these price lists to each store, and then you can control the prices that each store has simply by controlling this. It's possible as well that, for example, in a store hierarchy, the stores in the low level take prices from the buyers. Okay, so this provides higher flexibility. Okay, and now the customer is ordering a second item, and in this case, when I add the second unit, you will see a message on top of the screen, right side, saying that adding 1 extra item will receive a discount. Okay, so I apply the third one, and you see that it's the typical retail promotion. In this case, get 3, pay 2. Okay, another example of promotions. And finally, the customer is interested in a pack. The pack is a nice way to define a product with a fixed price, but including several items. In this case, it's a camping pack, and as you can see, the system has added automatically 2 items to the ticket, which are the items we see in this pack. One is the expedition tent, and the second is the down sleeping bag. The system automatically applies a discount over each item in order that the final price is the pack price. Okay, so let's finish. We pay off with card. Right. For the third example, we will demonstrate how the WebUS allows to assist customers. This is especially interesting. This scenario is especially interesting when the sales associate is using a mobile device, but as I said before, now it's not possible. You can imagine it. And let's start first with a couple of products. The first one is an all-mountain sky board, which has a 20% discount automatically applied by the system. A second product is protectors bag, just a simple price with no discounts. But now the customer is asking for a tent, but he doesn't know about the model. He doesn't know really about the possible price, etc. So Mike, in this case, can search for tents. The customer knows that he wants at least a familiar tent, done, and now Mike asked him about budget. And well, at the end, it seems that the budget is around 200 to 250. And finally, there is one model, and which seems to make happy the customer, and the customer will buy it. In this case, after adding this, you can see that an automatic discount has been added to the whole ticket. This is the 20% off over 500. This is a total ticket discount, which applies obviously when the ticket reaches a concrete amount. In this case, was 500. Right. However, the customer at this point receives a call and needs to pick up the phone. So Mike parks the ticket and will continue with the next customer. In this case, the only thing that Mike needs to do is just press the new button. And as you can see here, there is one saying that there is one pending ticket to be processed. Let's continue with the fourth example with returns. Obviously, Openbravo WebUS supports both verified and blind returns. The first one are with existing tickets. The second are without existing tickets. In this case, usually is the store supervisor, the store manager, who will validate and accept that the customer can really return an item. In this case, let's use a verified return like this. We can filter and search for products, and we will take the one of the previous created tickets in this case, and let's select this product. If we have, for example, more than one unit, obviously you could add the unit that you are returning. In this case, I just select one. As you can see, the line includes a reference to the original receipt and with a negative quantity, obviously representing that this is something that will be returned to the customer, right? But the customer wants to buy something else. So, and this is a nice functionality because there's no need to create separate tickets. You can just add sales in a ticket where you are returning products. And in this case, we will use a combo. The combo is just a change, a different promotion, and it differs from the pack. That when you are adding a combo, you are prompted to select different elements within this. So the definition of a combo is a number of families, and for each family, you define which products can be selected. In this case, the customer just select this. There is one sleeping bag, 2 bottles, this and this, and finally a ball pack. I guess that you can see this, for example, very useful in fast food restaurants scenarios. For example, typical food and beverage example, but it could be also interesting in scenarios like this. Okay, so we can proceed and finalize the sale. In this case, another approval is required since there are return lines. All these approvals can be personalized, so it's not necessary, obviously, but these are just examples that show how to control operations. Okay, and we process. At this point, Joe, the store supervisor, is coming and will ask Mike to do a cash management moment for security reasons. In this case, he will retrieve just 300, just because of a security policy. It will be transferred from the terminal to the safe of the store. Perfect. So now we have seen some examples. I would like to show you now another nice functionality, and let me move to another store. In this case, we are now in a different store, a different terminal. I just switched my URL, and here I'm just playing the role of Rose. And Rose is just a new person in another store, and it's the first day. Laura, sorry, it was Laura. Laura is the first day of Laura working as a sales associate in this store. So in order to learn the procedures and learn how the point of sale works, he can activate the training mode. This is a nice feature that helps to train employees, which is especially critical in retail with a lot of people with a high turnover. When you have activated the training mode, you can simulate transactions movements, and all this won't be sent to the back office. In this case, she will learn about a nice functionality. She has added 2 items of the All Mountain Sky board, and finally, second item, which is the protector bags. So you have here an automatic discount of 20%, but now let me note what happens when she presses the button to process the sale. You have seen a message has appeared, and the system has automatically changed the discount, since there is a discount that gives better conditions to the customer. In this case, it's a 20% discount over 500. So it's what we call best deal discounts, and it's a feature that helps to provide more loyalty, obviously, to your customers. It's possible to activate this at the store level, and as I said before, it's a way to increase loyalty and really to help your customers to be happier. Okay, so we are now close to the end of the day, and Mike obviously needs to close the till. But he has this pending ticket because the customer didn't return. But he goes to the cash app. The cash app is processed by the operator. Sales associates can really close the terminal. So the first that the system is saying is, Mike, you have a pending ticket. You must decide what to do with this. You must either process it or you must either delete it. In this case, Mike decides to delete the ticket, and since this is a special situation, it requires again the approval of Joe. Okay. Now he must enter the final count. In this case, we'll try to put the exact amount in order to avoid another. Okay, let's do it in this way. He can accept the rest, say next, and obviously he's prompted to get an approval. The rest of the steps says which is the amount that you want to leave in the terminal, and this is the information that will be used by the system in the next opening count. In this case, we will leave 200 for the For the rest of payment methods, nothing. And finally, Mike gets the cash app report with detailed information. And by pressing the button, the report is getting printed, and Mike has finished his work today. So I talked at the beginning of the demo about different roles, and another one was Peter. From Peter, I just wanted to comment something that I think it's interesting. Peter is the warehouse associate. So Peter can, with the Openbravo commerce platform, can manage the whole inventory management, stock management. But something which is really interesting, I want to show you, is this additional mobile solution, which is mobile warehouse operations. So from here, in this case, Peter can, for example, move stock with a mobile device. For example, move from the receipt area to the store area, move from the store area to a effect area, etc. All these again from mobile devices. In general, as I said before, all this functionality will be available from the mobile device. So again, the store operations, in this case, the warehouse operations in the store, gain more flexibility and more efficiency. Good. So now let's continue. We're near to end the journey and the store, and now it's turn of Joe again, and it will be really really fast. So now Joe is the store supervisor, and he closed the store. So basically, after Mike has closed the till, there are no open tills, as you can see here, and Joe can close the store. This is a similar process that the open one. You just select the store and say done. Okay. Now, as you can see, the terminal status are closed, no tills are open, and in this case, Joe could go to each cash app and see details and even print this report in order to analyze information, etc., etc., etc. Okay, so with this we have seen the whole process from opening the store to closing the store. Now, for example, Joe could make deeper analysis, for example, about the store productivity, and here let me show you some of the existing reports. For example, in the analytics, let me find analytics sales productivity by store, and I can say yes. For example, a period today. You can select currency, and here you can analyze the performance of the store in this period. This is a pre-configured report showing per store the order count, the average net quantity, average return quantity, average net amount, etc. Okay, so this information can be presented graphically in different forms, etc., etc. Okay, so this is just a set of tools that are available to analyze the information for any member of the team of the organization. And here finishes the Joe's work. Today, of course, he will start working again, opening the store, and validating actions in the point of sale, etc. Right. So let me go now back to the presentation and continue. Since we have seen a lot of things, but obviously this is not all available, that is provided by the Openbravo Commerce Platform. The Openbravo Commerce Platform, and especially Openbravo Web 3S, provides strong transactional support, for example, with layaways, quotations, but the back office component supports as well. Product catalogs management, picking and packing for supply chain management. It includes a strong support to financial management as well. So as a result, we are talking about a complete retail management solution that can help retailers to manage the whole retail business. And then we talk about these different blocks: merchandise management, supply chain management, multi-channel, enterprise management, advanced analytics, and mobile and cloud-ready platform. We have not been able as well to show you the e-commerce integration. We can with, for example, with a Magento connector, so it's possible to integrate Magento, and then you can seamlessly integrate your online channel. And there are as well another systems that can be integrated, like for example, Sugar CRM, etc., etc. And if we talk in terms of technology platform, obviously, and we can go into details today, the Openbravo platform, we have seen some examples of the features behind the user interface with embedded analytics, flexible security model, as you have seen, with approvals. Obviously, all users have a user and password, and on all the behavior of the solution is controlled by this rule-based model. Mobile, strongly interoperable, that makes it really easy to integrate with all solutions. And in general, let's say, a strong platform that really helps retailers today. And for example, especially in the case of the store, where the point of sale today has changed dramatically, and it's no longer the typical machine. Now it's like a platform. The point of sale is just a platform that needs to integrate and really has become the brain of the physical store. So we are near to the end. I think we are on time, and even we will have time for some questions. But what we have seen really short, I think, short introduction about Openbravo vision. I prefer to focus on the solution. Unfortunately, we have not been able to show you all the capabilities that the Openbravo commerce platform can provide to retailers. But I guess I hope that it has provided you a good idea about the capabilities and the benefits that retailers can get from its adoption. So basically, and talking again about those three pillars. So it allows retailers to help physical stores play their new role in today's cross-channel reality with a flexible and mobile web-responsive platform. It helps to provide an enjoyable customer service with assisted sale on the store floor. For example, we have seen examples. We have not seen with mobile devices, but for example, when I've been talking about how Mike was assisting the customer to decide about the 10. It helps to optimize store operations, for example, with control of all the cash available on each terminal, with detailed control of the stock pending to receive and the stock, and the use, of course, of mobile devices. Second, helps to progress in cross-channel, which is today a top priority for retailers worldwide, and this is through an agile merchandise management with a strong price list management, with strong promotions and discounts management. Second, providing an efficient online channel integration. As I said before, we have not been able to show it, but we can integrate seamlessly, for example, with Magento, with other existing systems, and you can really enjoy your online channel and be more efficient servicing online orders, providing better and more consistent information to your online customers. And third, it has to be more engaging. I mentioned it at the beginning of the presentation. Be more engaging means not only with customers, but means with employees as well, with better solutions that helps to make more informed decisions, that help to service customers better, and at the end helps to progress and to develop better. Obviously, it helps to motivate team because the whole organization is benefited from this. And finally, in a so interconnected world, it helps as well to get more committed partners because it's easy to integrate with our systems. It provides better information that can be shared with these partners and that can help to build long-term win-win relationships and can help obviously to evaluate your partners' performance. Okay, so I've almost accomplished with the time. So thank you very much first for your attention. Now, if you have any questions, you can write your questions on the chat, and I try to answer your questions about any Any point that we have presented today, or, well, yes, I see something running. Okay, there's a question talking about how how the discounts appear on the ticket. Okay, so we have not obviously been able to see how tickets are printed. So there is a whole functionality behind how printed tickets can be managed. For example, at the store level configuration, you can define the templates that are used for each transaction, and by default, the discounts appear as, let's say, as a note or as an additional text in the second line below the product which is receiving the discount. Okay, but this is something that you can obviously customize. Yes. Another question: does the bill receive support localization? Yes, of course. So I've not switched, for example, language. So the whole solution is multi-language. So the whole user interface, both in the back office and both in the point of sale, and you can customize. Obviously, you will have translations for all the elements that we're using. You can customize the text that are appearing in the tickets, for example. Okay, so this is part of the international support that comes together with, well, multi-currency, multi-scheme accounting, etc., etc. In case of a retailer really needing to adopt the whole solution. Okay, this is something that I've not mentioned before. I think it's a good point now to mention that thanks to the flexibility of the solution, we have customers under different scenarios. For example, we have customers adopting Openbravo Commerce Platform as the backend of the e-commerce platform. We have customers integrating their Tier 1 ERP with the Openbravo Commerce Platform, acting only as the point of sale. For example, with SAP customers, we have examples, and we have customers adopting the whole commerce platform. So, well, this is all the flexibility that provides, that helps retailers to really adapt to any situation, to any stage of growth. Okay. I don't see any questions. So in the first slide, I've given you my email address. I don't know if you have had the opportunity to note it. Let me now put it here. In case you have further doubts during the next days, feel free to contact me, and I'll do my best to answer your questions or to address to the person in Openbravo that can really help you. I'm just checking if there are more questions. Okay, I don't see more. Okay, so anyway, as I said before, you have my email address. I guess that we can have some questions through Twitter as well. We'll try to comment, to answer. Thank you very much for your time today, for your attention. Hope the presentation has been interesting for you. And as I said before, it's being recorded, and you will receive a link to the recorded session during the next days. Okay. So thank you very much.